Folks, this story out of Alabama is absolutely shocking and stunning. 3-year-old kid, Katorius KJ Starks Jr., died after he was accidentally left in a hot car for several hours. Now, here's what's crazy. The Birmingham Police Department says KJ was in temporary foster care. He was picked up from a daycare around 9 a.m. by a third-party worker contracted through the Department of Human Resources for a supervised visit with his biological father. The visit ended around 11:30 a.m. Instead of returning KJ to daycare, the worker, who was employed by the Covenant Services, stopped to get food for her family, shopped at a tobacco store, then went home. The worker forgot KJ was in the car, fastened in a car seat for more than 5 hours. KJ was removed because they said that the parents were going to cause harm to the child. Quote, a child in DHR custody was being transported by a contract provider. When the incident occurred, the provider has terminated their employee due to confidentiality. DHR cannot comment further regarding the identity of the child or the exact circumstance. As of right now, no charges have been filed. I cannot imagine, Joy, I cannot imagine if my child, first of all, I'm already stricken by my child being removed from my custody. But you remove my child from my custody, and then you end up causing my child to die.
Yeah, these are the saddest cases. This is shocking because of the state, but it does happen. And parents, especially in those summer months where the consequences are dire, and those deep winter months where the consequences are dire. I pray for these parents. They will never be able to be made whole, but the state does have the ability. There are technologies that have been created to make sure that if you are in a car and you have a child in the back seat, there's something that will alert you that something's moving back there.
Yeah. The Chevy EV Blaze I'm driving right now. Literally, when you stop, put it in park, it immediately tells you, "Hey, check the back seat for a child."
Yeah.
But I'm still I don't understand how it's your job, Omekongo. I'm confused. You literally picked the kid up. How do you go food shopping into a tobacco store and then go home?
Yeah, and it just makes me wonder why this person has not been arrested already. How are charges not filed?
I want their asses in jail right now.
Period. Bottom line. This doesn't make any sense, and it represents every stereotype about the system as it relates to state custody. This is tragic. As a father of three, thinking about one of my own in a situation like that, the absolute neglect of this. And it just shows a fundamental mind. And yes, we know there are tragic situations where these things happen in real life, and in outside of this type of situation in terms of government workers. But this is their job. This is their stated job. And that this child, this beautiful child, would leave this earth in that particular situation, supposed to be going to see his father. This is something that should lead to an overhaul of the entire system and an investigation of the entire system. I wouldn't be surprised if other situations like this in terms of neglect happen. But if at the most part, this person should already be locked up with charges filed. And it's just a cautionary tale for all of us, who are running around, with kids and everything like that. But if this is your job, you're supposed to have a heightened level of awareness. And they got to throw the book at this person.
Larry, just shocking and stunning.
Yeah, as a parent, I just can't even Joy highlighted it. They'll never get over this, and obviously this is a systemic failure. And Roland, unfortunately, we hear too many of these stories of departments at the state level that were supposed to be caring for children. Obviously, this is a third party vendor, but they contracted one, so the state has a responsibility to look out for the child's well being. I think the core of this issue is that apparently who was ever facilitating the child's movement from one place to another didn't value their humanity, because if they did, they would be acutely aware a small child was in the back seat and wouldn't end up going out and shopping in multiple places before that child. Obviously, I'm assuming it wasn't discovered, but there are no words for this kind of tragedy. And this is, like I said, this is the kind of failure that should never have happened. And if this individual really valued that child's life, this should have never have occurred.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.